Hello everyone, welcome to the VMS class. This is the live session 4, and in this we are going to start about computer architecture topic. We have around 3 tests in this series, which is mainly focused on computer architecture related kind of questions. And if you want to practice this, you can visit our website, which is given in the description. That will be very helpful for your competitive exams preparation. By attempting the questions in this way, you will get more confidence while attending the exams. Okay, so we can start our quiz session. The first question for today, and it is the 61st question in the series. Dash forms the backbone for building successful computer system. Dash forms the backbone for building the successful computer system. Option A, computer architecture. Option B, computer model. Option C, computer instructions. Option D, none of the above. So if you know the answer, you can please give your answer in the chat box. You can mention the question number 61 hyphen the correct answer. If it is A, you can mention A, otherwise B, C, D, like this. So that it will be easy for me to recognize the audience are giving the correct answer or not. Dash forms the backbone for the building's successful computer system. Computer architecture, computer model, computer instructions, none of the above. Let's see the correct answer. Option A, computer architecture. Computer architecture defines how a computer system is designed, how its components are organized, and how they interact. Since every computer system is built based on this design, it is considered as the backbone for building the computer system. Okay, the correct answer is option A. Option A, computer architecture. Okay, let's go to the question number 2. Which unit is responsible for performing arithmetic and logical operations? Which unit is responsible for performing arithmetic and logical operations? Option A, CU. Option B, ALU. Option C, MU. Option D, IO unit. Here CU stands for control unit, ALU arithmetic and logical unit, MU stands for memory unit. Mostly we have the answer in the question itself. Which unit is responsible for performing the arithmetic and logical operations? So without the doubt, you can write the answer ALU, arithmetic logic unit. ALU performs all mathematical calculations and logical comparisons such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and equal to many operations this arithmetic and logical unit is going to perform. So the correct answer is option B. Let's go to the next question. Question number 63. Which unit controls the flow of data and instructions in the CPU? Which unit controls the flow of data and instructions in CPU? Option A, ALU. Option B, control unit. Option C, memory unit. Option D, hard disk. So you can note down the correct answer in the chat box. Which unit controls the flow of data and instructions in the CPU? Option A, ALU. Option B, control unit. Option C, memory unit. And option D, hard disk. Mostly the answer is also in the question. Okay, you may guess it quickly. The answer is control unit. The control unit coordinates all activities inside the CPU. Control unit coordinates all activities inside the CPU. It controls the execution of instructions and directs the data flow between the ALU, memory, and IO devices. So all these are in the control of control unit. So the correct answer is control unit. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Question number 64. Which level of memory is the fastest? So there are options here, different types of memory, and which level of memory is the fastest? If you know the correct answer, you can please give your answer in the chat box. Which level of memory is fastest? Option A, secondary memory. Option B, cache memory. Option C, RAM. Option D, expansion memory. Which level of memory is the fastest? You can give your answer in the chat box. If you know the correct answer, you can please give your answer in the chat box. So let's see the answer. Option B, cache memory. It is the fastest because it is located very close to the CPU and stores frequently used data. Whatever we are going to access frequently, that data will be stored in the cache memory so that it will be helpful for reducing the access time and improving the processing speed. Okay? Cache memory is useful for reducing the reducing the access time, okay, and improving the speed, processor speed. So these two are the advantages of cache memory. The next question, question number 65. Which of the following stores the BIOS of a computer? Which of the following stores the BIOS of a computer? Option A, RAM. Option B, ROM, ROM, ROM. Option C, cache memory. Option D, registers. So if you know the correct answer, you can please give your answer in the chat box. Which of the following stores the BIOS of a computer? Let's see the correct answer. Option B, ROM, ROM. ROM stands for read only memory. This BIOS is stored in ROM because it must remain permanently available even when the computer is power off. ROM is basically also called as a memory. It means that even though if you switch off the computer, the contents will remain present. That is the advantage of RAM, ROM. Let's go to the next question. Question number 65. The smallest storage unit in a computer architecture. The smallest storage unit in a computer architecture is what? Option A, byte. Option B, word. Option C, nibble. Option D, bit. The smallest storage unit in a computer architecture. Junai MAR 2967 is giving the answer D, bit. Let's see the correct answer. Answer D, bit. So bit is basically the smallest unit in a computer which stores either 0 or 1. This is the smallest unit of a computer architecture. It stores either 0 or 1. All other data units are combination of bits. Every other data which you are storing is a combination of zeros and ones. Okay. So correct answer is option D, bit. Good answer. Let's go to the question number 67. Which bus carries data between CPU and memory? Which bus carries data between CPU and memory? Options are data bus, control bus, address bus, system bus. Normally, this bus is used for transferring the data or communicating between the devices present inside the computer. Okay. So you can please your answer in the chat box. Which bus carries the data? You see that mostly some of the questions answers will present in the question itself. The correct answer is option A, data bus. So data bus is responsible for transferring the actual data between the CPU and memory and also the other components. So the correct answer is data bus. Okay. Question number 68. Which circuit board is used in all electronic systems such as computer, calculations, digital system? Which circuit board is used in all electronic systems such as computer, calculators, digital systems? Option A, printed circuit board. Option B, printer. Option C, value. Option D, register. If you know the correct answer, you can mention the answer like 68, the correct answer. 68, the correct answer. So Junai MAR, it's the answer is telling PCB, printed computer board. So let's see the correct answer. So very good guess. Printed circuit board, it is the correct answer. So a PCB provides mechanical support and electronic connections. So all this making essential for almost all the electronic devices. Okay. The correct answer is option A, PCB in short. Question number 69. Which of the following is a metal or plastic case that holds all the physical parts of a computer? Which of the following is a metal or plastic case that holds all the physical parts? If you know the computer, there will be one box beside the monitor and keyboard and mouse. There is a box. This box contains all the physical parts of a computer. So that part name. So option A, system unit. Option B, CPU. Option C, mainframe. Option D, platform. Let's see the correct answer. Option A, system unit. So many students they will write as a CPU. Basically, this box is called a system unit. Inside that, CPU will be present. Okay. Central processing unit is one of the physical part present inside the system unit. Okay. The question number 70. The components that process data are located in which of the following? The components that process data are located in which of the following? Option A, input devices. Option B, output devices. Option C, system unit. Option D, storage component. Again, it is a kind of similar question. The components present inside the system unit. Okay. The correct answer is C. System unit contains all the components that are helpful for processing the data. Okay. The correct answer is a system unit. Question number 70. The correct answer is a system unit. Yeah. Yeah, Junaid is giving answer 70 is A. The question is the components that process data are located. So which is going to process the data? So that is going to be CPU is normally the processing device. This CPU is located in which of the following? So the correct answer is a C, system unit. Okay. If the question is the devices which are taking the data or which we are going to produce the data to the computer, that will be input devices. So for this, the correct answer is a C. Question number 71. Dash device is any device that provides information which is sent to the CPU. Device is any device that provides information which is sent to the CPU. Option A, input devices, output devices, CPU and memory. Now I think this is the question which is expected by the learners previously. Yeah, Junaid, again you can recheck it. See, the computer systems input devices will send to the CPU. After processing, then it will send to the another devices. So normally this is called input devices. After processing, the CPU will send the data to the output devices. So the question is dash devices sent to the CPU. Which devices are going to send to the CPU? Input devices. Okay. So let's see the correct answer. Input devices. Input devices are the devices that send information to the CPU. If you say that the devices which are getting the data from the CPU, then the correct answer would be output devices. Question number 72. Information that comes from the external source and fed into the computer software is called. Information that comes from the external source and fed into the computer. So again, it is a kind of repeated question because the questions are from the previous question papers. Similar questions may be there, but they are asked in different perspective. So this question is something like information that comes from external source. It is nothing but one device called input devices basically. From the input devices, the data will be fed into the computer software. Okay. So the correct answer is input devices. Data entered into the computer from outside sources called input, which is processed to produce output. Okay. So the correct answer is option B, input. Question number 73. Input unit converts data in computer in dash, in the suitable form, in the acceptable form, in the understandable form, in the rejectable form. Input unit converts the data in the computer in dash, in the suitable form, in the acceptable form, in the understandable form, in the rejectable form. Let's see the correct answer. So maybe some of the learners are giving acceptable form. Maybe these two words are looks like same, but it produces the data in the computer understandable form. The computer understandable format is zeros and ones, machine level language. So the correct answer is in the understandable form. Okay. Question number 74. This unit sends the processed results to the user. This unit this unit sends the processed results to the user. Option A, input unit. Option B, output unit. Option B, memory unit. Option D, CPU. Which unit is responsible? So please check the question carefully. Which unit is responsible for sending the processed results to the user? Which unit is responsible for sending the processed results to the user? So let's see the correct answer. B, output unit. So output unit is responsible for sending the processed results to the user. Okay. The correct answer is output unit. The correct answer is output unit is responsible for processing the results to the user. So let's go to the next question. Question number 75. This component is required to process data into information and consists of integrated circuits. This component is responsible to process the data into information and consists of integrated circuits. The options are hard disk, RAM, CPU, ROM. This component is required to process data into information which contains the integrated circuits. So from the odd man out, you can select the answer. In my perspective, hard disk, RAM and ROM are memory devices, right? It is going to store the information either temporarily or permanently. But CPU is a kind of processing device. So based on the odd man out, also you can guess the answer. Now let's see the correct answer here. The correct answer is a CPU. CPU process raw data into meaningful information using integrated circuits and controls all the computer operations. Okay, so the correct answer is C, CPU. CPU is the correct answer. Question number 76. The central processing unit in a computer consists of what? It consists of input, output, and processing. It consists of control unit, primary storage, and secondary storage. It consists of control unit, arithmetic logic unit, and memory unit. Option D, none of this. If you know the correct answer, you can please give your answer in the chat box. Let's see the correct answer. B. Okay. But I can say that the correct answer is C here. Okay, C. Because the control unit, arithmetic logic unit, memory unit. Okay. All these are the part of CPU. And based on the secondary storage, you can say that it is not part of secondary memory unit, right? So the correct answer is a C here. Okay. The correct answer is a C. Okay. Let's go to the 77. Question number 77. Which instruction is used for loading the data into CPU accumulator register from memory? Which instruction is used for loading the data into CPU accumulator register from the memory? Option A, load. Option B, storage. Option C, machine. Option D, access. So what is the register name? So again, the answer is mostly in the question. Which instruction is used for loading the data into the CPU accumulator register from the memory? Okay. The correct answer is load. The load instruction transfers data from memory into the accumulator. Okay. Load instruction transfers the data from memory. Okay. From the memory to the accumulator. Okay. Accumulator. So the correct answer is load. So let's go to the next question. Question number 78. Where does the computer add and compare data? Where does a computer add and compare data? In the hard disk, in the floppy disk, in the CPU chip, in the memory chip. So where does a computer add and compare data? So if you know the correct answer, you can please give your answer in the chat box. Hard disk, floppy disk, CPU chip, memory chip. So the correct answer is CPU chip. All arithmetic and comparison operations takes place inside the CPU chip, mainly inside the arithmetic and logical unit. Okay, inside the CPU chip we have ALU. This is responsible for doing the additions, comparisons, etc. Correct answer is a C. Question number 9. It is very straightforward question. It's a very straightforward question. So what is the brain of a computer? What is the brain of a computer? This is a very standard question. Okay. Standard question. CPU. is the brain. CPU controls all activities of the computer. Our human brain controls all activities, right? So similarly, CPU controls all the activities of the computer and processes the instructions. So that is the reason we will call CPU is the brain of the computer. So the correct answer is C. Okay. And the last question for today's live session. The CPU chip is used in a computer is partially made up of. The CPU chip used in a computer is partially made up of copper, iron, gold, silica. The CPU chip, the CPU chip used in a computer is partially made up of. We have seen a similar kind of question in our previous live sessions as well. Okay, so let's see the correct answer. It's a silica. Silica is a semiconductor material used in CPU chips because it allows controlled flow of electricity, which is essential for electronic circuits. Okay, this is very essential for the electronic circuits. So the correct answer is D. Okay, so if you want to practice this, so we have all these questions are available in our computer course. So you can please visit and you can practice all these questions in the form of real-time exam. So this will improve your confidence. You can find out the link in the description. Okay. Or you can go to the vmsclass.com. Visit the courses here. Here we have the course called Computer Awareness Test Series. Okay, you can please take this. So we have maximum trying to cover the previous year question papers. It will be very helpful for you. So please go through this and improve your confidence in attempting all the competitive examinations. So thank you. I will see you in the next lesson.